Greetings and complications, dear friends. Welcome to another video on our channel. You are on GMT-3, the channel that makes complications simple. I always like to start the videos by welcoming you. And of course, also inviting you to become part of our family, in case you aren't subscribed. Are you new to the channel? Do you like watches? Interested in joining GMT-3? Click on subscribe, smash the like button too, because it helps us grow here on the platform and you also stay up to date with all the releases and news. Like for example, the watch I'm going to show you in today's video. I was really looking forward to recording this guy since it's the Brazilian watch that's making the most noise right now. And from a brand that we all love, which is Tecnos. Technos reissued a version of its own that was very successful in the 80s, the Skydiver. Their diving watch. Responding to the demand of its audience, right? Technos, always attentive to that, reduced the size of the Skydiver, made it more wearable, 40-40 mm. But not only that, they also brought back the color patterns that were very successful in the 80s. And we have more citrus colors in these re-releases from the 80s, and you'll see here my favorite color. You know, you can see that yellow, man, it looks really beautiful. But anyway, today you're going to get to know the Skydiver with this silicone strap, learn a bit about the history of the Skydiver, and we're also going to check out this little cutie that was just re-released. About a month ago, I went to Sao Paulo to check out the re-release of the Skydiver. The folks from Technos, our dear friends from Technos, were there and they were presenting their re-release to the media. There were still a few days left before the watch hit the stores, and now it has arrived and this re-release is a big success. First, this is a watch every Brazilian loves. The Skydiver story is truly extraordinary, which I really like about it. It's that it connects not only with those who love watchmaking, who love dive watches, but also with that person, the average citizen who doesn't necessarily have the same passion for watchmaking as we do, but still has some interest. They need for their daily life a robust watch, a watch that has some diving specifications. In other words, we have a case here designed to be resistant, and this resistance has always been part of the Skydiver's DNA. The Skydiver is part of the Sky family, especially if we go back to the 70s where we had the Technos Swiss made, right? We had the Sky Eagle, we had the Sky Sonic, we had the Sky Ace, and we had the Diver, which was the Skydiver. Back then, we already had watches with automatic mechanical movement. They used ETA movements, and they were also very robust watches. But then the famous quartz crisis came. I'll make a video telling you about it. What was the quartz crisis? What did it cause? How did Switzerland have to deal with it? Anyway, stay tuned because soon I'll tell you all about it. This famous quartz crisis affected all watchmaking companies. There wasn't a single one that wasn't impacted either positively or negatively by the arrival of quartz on the market. And Technos, of course, adapted to the arrival of quartz, and meeting the demand of this growing audience, especially in the 1980s, it introduced its Skydiver. In 1986, there was already an ana-digi version. We had watches with quartz movement. And the display showed information in two ways, both analog information and also information here on an LCD screen. But did you know that when the Skydiver first hit the market, it didn't have this beautiful smile looking at us? Take a look at the Skydiver with a rectangular LCD screen. Anyway, it was only a few years later. After the idea for this project came to us, right, a watch made by Brazilians and for Brazilians, which I think is really cool. We don't have, we do have, of course, countless national models that are very successful in various brands. But still, I believe that the Skydiver is the standout among national watches that are very successful. If you look at watches in this price range, you'll find other brands, but they're foreign brands. The Skydiver, as I said, is a watch made by Brazilians for Brazilians. The idea behind it was to provide people, both those who, as I said, like watches, and also the average person, with a tool, a watch you can use every day that's attractive, durable, and easy to read. Suddenly you, the person, had a robust watch that allowed them to go diving. Not just for occasional diving, but for scuba diving too. Not just occasionally, because the watch already had that 150-meter water resistance which lasts to this day. Anyway, then Technos went on and developed numerous models of the Skydiver, and now they've reduced the case size. As I said, meeting the needs and demands of their audience, the consumer who wanted a watch with a smaller size. Now they're presenting this reissue with a 40mm case. Not just the size, but also the colors, right, of the models that were really successful back in the 80s. There's an ad from Technos showing the range of colors for the Skydiver, right? Yes, there's a young person there water skiing, and what's interesting about this photo is that the person water skiing is none other than Mario Gertens. Mario Gertens, who was the person that brought Technos to Brazil. He's the young man there water skiing. Anyway, the stories always come together, right? Everyone has a story to tell about the Skydiver. I ask you, what's your story with the Skydiver? Do you have one, or did you have one before? Was it a friend, a relative, your dad, an uncle? What's your love story with the Skydiver? Write it in the comments section, because I'm going to read all the comments that are written, okay? I'll read and reply to several, all right? I really want to know your story with this classic here, which Technos is bringing back again. And like I said, this reissue is going to pay tribute to those models from back then, right? 1986. We have colors like green, we have colors like yellow. This yellow turned out really beautiful. We have the black one, and we also have this version here in orange. This is the reissue family. We also have new releases from Technos for the female audience, right? Maybe your wife wants a Skydiver. There are 30mm versions which my wife fell in love with. We also have the larger size versions, now with a new color scheme, right? Check out the two-tone design. It also comes with extra straps. So it's really cool. For all tastes, all sizes, there's a Skydiver for you. But this little guy here, the 40mm one, I have to admit, I fell in love with it. I want to thank Technos for sending us this watch for us to check out. And now you're also going to see some scenes. I've already given you a bit of the background on the Skydiver, right? That diver vibe it has. We really see a lot of that DNA here. When Technos switched from mechanical movement to ana-digi movement, a lot of that diver vibe remained in this watch. If you take this orange model, we have here the orange. Besides being a beautiful color, it's a citrus color, a fun color, right? Just like the others, I also think the yellow is a really fun color. We have very high contrast and extremely high legibility. Jacques Cousteau used watches with an orange dial, and he said that the legibility of this type of watch while diving was very high. And in this Technos model, we have this orange tone here that will also give you that high contrast with the markers and also with the hands. Speaking of the hands, we have the classic ones, right? The markers we have on this watch are the classic ones from the Skydiver. Here we have the Mercedes hour hand. The bezel is back to being aluminum, okay? Here we have this black aluminum bezel. It looks really cool. I really liked it. It's protected by the bezel, right? You have this aluminum insert. It's set deeper into the case there, so it's protected against scratches by the bezel, which is a 120-click unidirectional bezel. Here we have the markings for the first 15 minutes, the minute-by-minute markings, right? To help you make decompression stops. And the watch itself is really beautiful, the classic one, right? The ana-digi here with that smile shape. Looking at it here, it's cool that the LCD screen of the movement is square, right? But the information display is made that way to follow the curve, right? It's not that the LCD has this curve as you can see in this image of the movement. Secondhand, we have lume applied here, right? The famous lollipop. And here you can see the Technos Skydiver in the dark, glowing in all its glory. The watch looks really cool with this brushed finish, right? In everyday use, this brushed finish tends to reduce the appearance of scratches, right? So that's the essence of a tool watch. And I thought this finish was really cool. The buckle here is stainless steel, matching this brushed tone, and it's signed. We also have a tribute to those models from the 80s in these keepers here, right? Here we read Technos Skydiver, and the watch really has that fun 80s vibe. We have 3 pushers, controls. The crown has the traditional T for Technos. And this watch, it has some really interesting features that are activated here by this button at the 8 o'clock position. You click it, and here we have the alarm. We also have a chronograph here with tenths of a second. And then we just have the time adjustment here. The basic watch functions that will be with you your whole life. It also has a really cool feature. It has a countdown timer here of up to 7 minutes. If you need to do some kind of countdown, you just activate it here with this button at the 10 o'clock position, right? So you activate it and you can do this countdown of up to 7 minutes. Pretty cool watch. Technos, right? It says chrono, alarm, right? Chrono for chronograph and alarm, right? Those are the functions it has. Right below his name, Skydiver Professional. And its resistance, which is 150 meters on the case back, we have some information about the model, like its stainless steel case. And its resistance to 150 meters, there's the T for Technos, the indication that it's produced in the Manaus Free Trade Zone. This case back is screwed down. And the watch is very beautiful. It absolutely screams the 80s. And I'm praising it also based on how much this watch costs. We have this watch on the Technos website. It's going to cost around 800 reais. 750, 800. You can pay in up to 10 installments. Take a look at the website for your first purchase. On the Technos website, there's a discount coupon. But if you're going to pay in full, there's a coupon too. Anyway, check it out. The link for you to visit the Technos website is in the description of this video. And you'll also find this model at Technos partner stores. Very cool. I really like this silicone strap here. We have these perforations to help with water drainage, right? During your dive, we have the accordion part here, right? For you to use with a wetsuit. I've already made a video teaching and showing you what this wave pattern on the dive watch strap is for. There's a reason for that, right? And it's really cool. I'll leave a card here for you to check out what it's for at the end of this video. And here we have this little beauty. This watch is really beautiful, man. I liked it a lot. This orange color, I'm in love with it. And we have this machine here. Here with this excellent value that you can find on the Technos website. This orange one was such a hit that it sold out, okay? But Technos is restocking it. I don't know whether by the day this video goes up, this model will already be available. But anyway, take a look and you'll find this orange version here. They're restocking it. You'll definitely be able to get your hands on your Skydiver, this reissue. Let me ask you, which color did you like? Did you prefer the orange one, the yellow, the green, or the black one? So what's your favorite watch color? Write it in the comments along with your story, together with the Technos Skydiver, this passion of ours as Brazilians. Dear friends at Technos, thank you so much. I mentioned I was in São Paulo to check it out. Everyone was really excited. Check it out straight from the source, the ideas for the Technos Skydiver. And now you guys are presenting the Skydiver in a 40mm size.
When we talk about passion, you have to be very careful. Yeah, you can't just do it. We have to serve our audience very well because they're very loyal to the brand and especially to the Skydiver line, right? We have amazing stories of people who connect emotionally with the Skydiver. This version, right, which comes in 40mm, is a classic.
It turned out beautiful.
This yellow is beautiful. So we bring vibrant colors that really represent the 80s. So we have orange, yellow, green. Yeah, these are very vibrant colors. So they really faithfully represent this reinterpretation. But we also bring an interchangeable strap version, a more robust version, because we actually have an audience that connects with a more robust watch. It includes an interchangeable strap version with 2 straps for easy switching. And also the women's version, which we couldn't forget, to remember our female audience, because the Technos brand has a lot of affection for our audience, bringing a 30mm version as well, all inspired by the historical reinterpretation.
What you're seeing here is just the tip of the iceberg of what Technos has for this year. And Technos will be with us at the Brazil Watch Show. All of this that you're seeing here, Brazil Watch Show, we're with you.
We understand the importance and relevance for our world of watches for those who are passionate about watches. So this event is hugely significant for us. And we were even telling Leandro here earlier, we made changes to our launch calendar exclusively because of the event. So we're going to bring a lot of previews and we'll have exclusive new releases just for the event. So you can definitely check it out because Technos will have a lot of great things in this edition.
And I also talked to Gabriel Leal and I also talked to Bianca. Gabriel Leal was wearing a wonderful Skydiver. I'll never forget falling for that Skydiver and telling Gabriel only I can buy that watch. He said he might sell it. Gabriel, I know you'll see this video. I'm keeping an eye on that Skydiver of yours, right, my brother? It's just too beautiful. Of course, I recorded a clip. Here it is for you to check out this beautiful machine. I think it's cool that everyone at Technos is passionate about Technos and wears it every day, always looking for vintage models.
Me personally, my father had a Skydiver, you know? So I remember when I was little, taking his watch, pressing all the buttons, setting everything up, and every time he had to set it all up again. So it's a huge responsibility, but it's also a great joy and satisfaction to be able to bring this reinterpretation, you know? This reissue of such an iconic product for the Brazilian market once again.
Look, I'm on the orange team.
Of course, me too.
Orange too, on my team?
Mine is Bianca.
It made a very interesting contrast. I think Gabriel emphasized that we really dedicated ourselves to bringing what was in at that moment. The 80s had a lot of those bold colors, right? That contrast between the dial and the strap. It's a very modern watch, but at the same time, you can recall that memory from the past. I'm wearing the orange one.
This passion from the Technos team is really cool. Dear friends, big hug. May God always bless you more and more. It's a great joy to be able to bring you this watch here. I really hope you enjoyed this Skydiver, this reissue, as much as I did. Technos is always attentive to its audience. Now with the size, I didn't mention the size of this guy, did I? It's 40 millimeters between the lugs. It has a height of 48 millimeters, it's 16 millimeters thick, and its strap is 20 millimeters wide. You can combine it with countless other straps, right? An orange NATO strap, an orange trimix on this watch. Check out this watch with an orange trimix. Really awesome, right? Guys, big hug. May God bless you always more and more. And of course, I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.